put the powder in the glass. Pour an alcoholic beverage of your choice. I prefer whiskey. I also like to add a little bit of hot dog water to mine. That's just personal. Just find a nice sedentary position. Relax. And stay there. Couch body.
All right, hello and welcome to Lunch Therapy. I'm your host Joel Marshall. This is Interview Friday. Lunch Therapy. Lunch Therapy is on Tuesdays and Fridays at noon. Live. We're live here. Behind me, I have a poster for Stronger Choices, which is happening at the Improv Lab Sunday, August 24th at 7 p.m. You'll see my little face there. Adam Lieblein hosts this show. Some of the best comedians around. So check it out. You can go to joelmarshall.com, buy tickets if you're interested. Today, we got Mort Burke on the show. Mort Burke is a hilarious comedian. He's also an actor and a sketch artist and an improv artist. Hoy, Camila Lopez is here. Excited to see the show at the Improv on Sunday. Yes, it's going to be super fun. A lot of the hummingbirds are coming to the show, so check it out. My favorite interview is Vernus Clear. Says, Vernus, it's so good to hear from you. Where are you now? Are you in Paris, or are you back in LA? Are you in Venice? Are you traveling to Paris? Let us know. Let us know. We like to know these things. This show is powered by Patreons. Patreons are the fuel, the lifeblood of shows like this. Independent media, I like to call it. Vernus is in Santa Monica. All right, good. We got to get together. Behind me, I have the beach in SoCal. And below me, I have all the Patreons for the show. So thank you so much for supporting this show. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/Joel Marshall. It really helps, I got to tell you. And on Tuesday, we give it back because we have a contest where you can win money just right from the chat room. And it goes straight into your Venmo. Oh, man. At least it's not as hot as the rest of LA. Yeah, it's super hot here in LA. I don't know if anybody has any sympathy for us, although when it's hot, things catch on fire, so that's no good. Let's get into some breathing. You can feel my stress level going up when I said fire. Right, so this is a thing we do on the show always. We always take 3 deep breaths at the beginning of the show. My cat, Charlie, even takes 3 deep breaths. Everybody does. Todd Lee is here. Holy Todd, good to see you. Hope all is well. So glad to have you here. Holy Todd. Holy. Speaking of that, one of the hummingbirds, one of the big contributors to the show, it's his birthday today, Jeff Lohman. So send out a hearty happy birthday to Jeff Lohman. It's actually 3 a.m. where he is in Thailand, which is probably not his birthday. It's August 23rd there probably, but still send him out a hearty happy birthday if you see him anywhere on social networking or whatever, or right here. Happy birthday, Super Jeff. All right, let's do this thing. Let's breathe in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Yeah, Jeff is known around here as Super Jeff Lohman because he adventures into vast areas, corners of the globe, and brings us back roving reporters. A lot of times you can see those on Tuesdays. He also is doing stand-up out there in like a field with a water buffalo. Matt Wright is here. Come up here and cool off. We only have fires a couple times a year now. That's Seattle. They're actually having fires there too. Terrible. A fellow Leo. Oh, does that mean you're a Leo? Yours was the 12th. Happy birthday, Todd. Snuck that by us. I think maybe I sent you a happy birthday somewhere. Todd, you have to tell the hummingbirds. Yeah, you have to tell us. You just jinxed it, Matt. A new band name? Couple forest fires. I don't know if that's a good one. All right, 2 more. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. One more. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. There is, behind me are waves not from the beaches here. I believe that these are waves from Portugal. I don't know if any of you have seen that film with the surfers trying to catch the biggest waves in Portugal. It's pretty cool. All right, now let's get into this thing. It's Interview Friday. I got Mort Burke. I'm very excited about that. Acrid Smokies. Is that a band name? I got Mort Burke here. Mort, I have seen at the Fourth Wall, which is a place where we go work out our comedy routines here in Hollywood. Many of you know it. But Mort hails from the city of St. Louis. Then he went to Chicago for 7 years, worked in the trenches of comedy there, and then brought that comedy out here to Los Angeles. He's been seen in many different shows. A show called Enlisted, which is comedy about people in the military. He's in the show Drunk History. You'll see him like every sketch. Seems like he was like a regular in Drunk History. A lot of people were fans of that, are still fans of that. The show Mythic Quest on Apple TV, or Apple Plus, I guess you call it. And then he currently has a podcast called Rebrand with his wife, Ashley Birch, and we're going to talk about that. We're also going to ask, don't you guys have similar last names? Isn't that kind of weird? Did you sit next to each other in high school? Is that how you guys met? You were like right next to each other because your names are almost exactly the same. How do we rebrand that? What does it mean to rebrand things? I don't know. We're going to find out. And then also, fantastic comedy special that he has on YouTube that you can watch for free. It's one of the best stand-up comedy specials I've seen in a long time. It's called Spiritually Filthy. And it is some dirty, dirty stuff. No, it's not. It's not. It's actually really, it's weirdly uplifting. It is a little filthy sometimes, but like in a good way, and funny and enlightening. So check it out, but not now because we're going to have him on the show. All right, let's get it going. Interview Friday. I'm going to show a little clip from the show.
My name is Mort. That's silly. Isn't that a goofy... You know what I mean? Isn't that kind of a goofy move, right? To have that as my name and act like that's real or okay, you know? To walk around. I found out my parents almost named me Dylan. Which is the coolest name in the world. But instead, they went with Mort. First of all, just don't tell me that. Like, never, you know? That's like being like, hey, buddy, happy birthday. We almost got you this Porsche, but instead we got you this picture of a guy getting his penis crushed by a garage door.
Right.
Oh,
Taking a little sip there. Mort Burke, I'm going to take a little sip too.
yeah. Hydrate. Have a little ice water.
Yeah. It's so hot. Is it hot where you are?
Yeah, it's steamy out here, man. We got the AC going, so we're okay in here. But
That'd be funny if you lived like right next door to me. I didn't even know it. Like we're just like right next door. Probably not.
yeah, 4 feet away.
We don't.
I can wave. And see
We
you
don't
in your window.
disclose our locations here on Lunch Therapy for safety security purposes.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it is-
I'm being stalked currently by a couple fans.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
gotta
definitely.
keep chill.
I'm in the witness protection program. This is not even my name. This is not my shirt. This is not any of this.
I heard that. Yeah, you decided to adopt kind of a more spiritually leaning persona after
Yeah, after
the
my
mayhem you caused in your previous life.
hard life that I've been living. But builds character. It's great for
Oh yeah,
comedy.
you can see it too. You can feel you. There's a
You
darkness
see that?
with you. Yeah, I mean,
like some
you can
kinda-
tell you've changed, but
The
yeah.
lines in my face and every line has a story too. This one here,
Uh-huh.
I got punched by a lizard. Yeah.
That's very silly.
It doesn't really hurt that much though, because they got little hands. They got tiny little
Yeah, a
hands.
little tiny. Sure.
They're kind of
I
short,
feel like
but
you could
Yeah.
play like an assassin or something.
I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear more casting opportunities for me because I always think of myself in a different way than other people do,
It's weird, right? We
Yeah.
completely. I'm doing my next special that I recorded is going to be.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
Quite
useful.
youthful.
Thank you. Nice. I'll take it. Apparently, Capricorns age backwards.
Oh, I see. So you're a Capricorn.
Yeah.
Are you into the old astrology? I know Zach is into it.
Yeah.
A mutual friend of ours.
Yeah. Zach's like my personal astrologist now, basically.
We had Zach on the show, and we didn't get a chance to talk to him about astrology, I don't think. But I think it's a bunch of hooey.
You find it to be who you find it to be.
Maybe I'm
hooey
wrong.
primarily?
I mean, I'm a kind of spiritual person, or I am drawn towards just anything like Eckhart Tolle, whatever you throw it at me.
Love Eckhart
Joe
Tolle. Yeah.
Dispenza, any of those people, I'm just like, okay, make me a superhero. But when I hear astrology, I'm kind of like, isn't that kind of like our point of view on the stars? Isn't that kind of like just random? I don't know.
Yeah, well, here's how I feel about it. A lot of it really speaks to things that are generally sort of good advice in a lot of ways. And in a patriarchy, Joel, or really in a materialistic society, we focus almost exclusively on materialism. But this speaks to the world of emotional experiences. It speaks to the world of energetic experiences. So, and also in a patriarchy, anything that seems intuitive is seen as a bunch of bullshit. And so I like to, it's
this.
the let's see, how do we say this? Like to take the world of the unseen and to utilize it in our current lives is like it's a feminine skill.
I love
And
this.
so as a dude who's only now kind of learning that I actually do have some intuition, I just try to be open to other people when they're like, "Oh, I'm intuitive. I understand this thing." And I'll tell you, okay, so I'll give you one more practical thing. So I'm a Capricorn, right?
Yeah.
Which is that so Capricorn, I was always like, fuck that. Like, I'm not, Capricorns are like type A. Thank you, Kamala. I am a genius. Like type A, Capricorns are always like, they get stuff done. They're very like, they can be kind of annoying sometimes to people. And I was like, that's not me. That doesn't make any sense. I'm always late. I'm like, it's really hard for me to stay organized. But then I found out that I have an Aries moon, which means that and the moon tells you about, as I understand it, I'm no expert,
Yeah.
but tells you about your emotional life. And the Aries is a fire sign, and it doesn't like to be with the moon because it's more of a masculine energy and the moon is more of a feminine energy. And so when I learned that, I was like, oh, that's why my emotional state is like super explosive. Like I have a really if I don't take care of my emotional state, it takes me over and I get really furious or really depressed. So once I learned that about my emotional state, now if I'm really angry, if I'm at a terrible open mic and I leave and I'm furious,
Yeah.
I call a friend and be like, hey, I have to rant for like 2 minutes. Let me just get this out. And I'll get it out and it moves way quicker. Whereas before, I think before I had that understanding of my emotional life, I would try to like subconsciously suppress it. As opposed to realizing now, like, oh, my emotions move really fast, so I get really angry really quickly. But if I address it like that, they don't last as long. So it's actually helped me with my
God, I love that.
like mental health.
So it's almost like this science of
Art, science,
astrology.
whatever. It's about math. A lot of it's really, it's by degrees or whatever.
It almost like provokes you to start thinking about these things, and maybe you find some solutions that are intuitive rather than something that is like logical and that can be tested or that we can be certain about. I think as I get older, I get more and more uncertain. I don't know if do you have that?
Yeah,
feeling,
and I
Phil?
think that's good. Same. I mean, the most enlightened people I think are like, yeah, I don't know anything really. And the more I'm like, the more certain I am,
Yeah.
the more defensive I am.
That's so
You know what I
true.
mean?
That's so
And
true.
like the more open I am, the more I can kind of hopefully through practice like receive whatever's coming along with less judgment because I'm real judgmental. Like that's
Are you?
why. Yeah,
It's so
I mean,
funny
no,
because you don't come across, first of all, you don't come across as somebody who's angry or depressed, and then at any time. And then also that judgmental. It doesn't seem like you are, but you are. This is
well,
good.
okay. So the thing about the Capricorn thing
Yeah.
is that I don't look the way that I am usually. We like appear a very sort of like I've heard people say I'm like intimidating and stuff, and I'm like I'm fucking scared. Isn't it? It's just weird to me. I'm like 5'9" and 100 something pounds.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's your intellect maybe that they're intimidated by.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
But so I've done a lot of work on that shit because I kind of have had to, because whatever.
Do you find being a comedian and being an actor in this environment kind of exacerbates feelings like that? Like, are we always putting our ass on the line and it makes us sort of irritable, or we have expectations that maybe we don't meet up to all the time? Do you think that
Totally,
that's
yeah.
part of the business?
I think that energy kind of finds places for it to exercise itself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think being a person who's kind of up and down internally, like, yeah, this is the perfect career for that because it's so,
It really is. It really is.
And to me, it's really interesting because it's like, okay, I have jealousy, right?
Mhm.
I mean, everybody does, but I
Yeah.
think it's performers, especially because we're put in this place where it's like I was never in like, I don't know. I don't like competitions really,
Yeah, I
but
don't
then you're
either.
put in this place that is like highly competitive. So it's
Yeah.
like you can't help but experience jealousy. And then you go to LA and like the people that you're competing against, like I had these experiences. I moved here from Chicago and I would be like sweeping the sidewalk in front of the restaurant that I was working at. And somebody that I used to do shows with in Chicago, their face would come by like on a bus, you know?
Oh, I got the
Just like
same
the-
experience. Same
Yeah, just the
experience, for
exhaust in
sure.
my face and like,
Yeah.
and that's kind of amazing because it makes you really have to deal
Yeah.
with the jealousy because it's either going to make you like super bitter, which is useless, or you're going to learn how to try to let go of it,
What do you do? What kind of behaviors did you change in order to deal with that kind of thing, your mental state?
Yeah. I stopped drinking. I
Yeah.
like got in recovery. I did therapy. I do all the stuff, all the corny shit everybody says. I meditate, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that you're like I like that you're doing like a breathing show.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's funny. There's no skateboarders in the
They
Venice
took a
Park.
break, yeah, because we were able to do the show here, and
Yeah.
they're all watching, of course. But they got
Yeah.
their skateboards.
Yeah, they love the podcast. You're huge in Venice.
I'm huge there.
Yeah.
The experience is so fucking painful and pervasive in this town, says Kamala.
The
It is.
jealousy thing is psycho, man. It hurts.
Well, and it's exacerbated by the social media now, I think. Do you?
Totally.
Because we're all just like, hey, look at me, hey, look at And it's kind of our job to be, hey, look at me. But it's just, it's relentless. It's relentless. Yeah. So you and your wife are both performers.
Yeah.
She is a prolific actor, voiceover actor, producer. Ashley Birch. Now, did you guys meet on Mythic Quest?
No, we met well before that. Let's see. We've been together almost 10 years. So we met in like 2015 or something. And so I just met her at a friend's house. She was friends with a friend of mine. And we,
You just both happen to be on Mythic Quest.
She helped me get that show. She helped
you get it. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. She's a writer on that show. She's like a showrunner, and also also I am talented. It's not like
yes, you are talented. It's not just nepotism.
I've done
not just nepotism. No.
It's not. I mean, it is some, of course.
Yeah.
But not exclusively. Yeah.
And okay, so Chicago. You talk about this in your show, which, like I was saying before, your show is one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. It's available on YouTube. Anyone should check it out. Spiritually Filthy. We played a little bit here. But
Thanks,
it's very
man.
personal. It's very personal. It's very funny. You take your time. You sometimes will say things that are just true. The comedy will just be like something that you realized. I think I want to actually just illustrate that with one thing here. One of these clips. Let's see if I can do it. Boney, can you get... I don't know. Boney's like sleeping or something. I don't know what is going on.
Is he high? He seems like...
You noticed that, right? See, he's like, boss, nobody knows that I'm high. I'm like, you got to stop smoking like that because
man.
He's like, nobody knows. Nobody can tell. I'm doing my job just fine. And I'm like, dude, I mean, like you're asleep sometimes. All right, here it is. Boney, cue it up. Thanks, Boney. I appreciate it.
So my whole life, all of my emotions, they felt too big. Like too big for my body, too afraid, too angry, too horny, all this stuff. But then I realized, I was taught that if you sit in silence with these emotions, after a while they'll start to dissipate. And you'll find this part inside you that is really like peaceful and tranquil, and you can just kind of rest there. And that's really our birthright as human beings. And they don't tell you that because they can't sell it to you.
So true. That cracks me up because it's so true. And there's obviously a punchline there, but it's mainly like you're just like laying it down.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
wow, I was watching that and I was like, damn, I'm fucking ahead of my time, man.
You are. You are,
dude,
man.
I really appreciate you, Joel, saying that about my special and taking it seriously at the level you're kind of taking it, because I haven't really had that experience very much.
Really?
Yeah, and I really do put a great deal of like heart and work into that special. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy that you saw what I was intending, which is like, I want this thing to be as funny as possible. And also I want it to have like relevance and be helpful and be a little bit moving.
Yes. And you accomplished that so well. And I really applaud you for that. We got a story from Matt right here. Back in the 90s, sometimes people would recognize me at the espresso cart where I worked. They'd ask, hey, aren't you in Gas Huffer? My best response was, not today. So he was like in a very popular underground punk band back in the 90s. And there he is in Espresso. So we all have those experiences. Thanks for sharing that, Matt.
Yeah. That's good. It's good to have like a stock, thing where you can just say to people that like kind of like, yeah.
I love
and
that.
they kind of go, huh? All right. Yeah.
Can you tell me, tell us about your Rebrand podcast, because I want to hear more about that. I listened to an episode of it and I think it's so interesting. I don't know how you came up with this idea, but tell us about it.
Well, it started because Ashley, so my wife is extremely successful, and she's like, and she's fucking hilarious. She's a professional comedy writer, right? So I was like, I want to do a podcast with you. Like, I like talking to you. And she was like, okay, I'll do it. But she's so busy. She's like, you have to do everything. Like, all I want to do is sit down for an hour and talk. That's all I can. That's like all the space she had on her plate, you know?
Yeah.
And so we used to play this game where I'd be like, Snickers are so boring. And she'd be like, all right. And we would just play a silly game where she would play like a CEO of Snickers, and I would come in and be like, sit down, you old fuck. And I would describe like the way that I'm dressed. I'd be like, have like a leather jacket, and I drove a Ferrari that said like Snickers on it or something. And I would pitch like, I was like, here's the truth. Snickers are disgusting. Nobody likes them. They're awful. They've been awful for years. And she would go like, oh, she couldn't believe it, you know, and I would be like, you're not going to pay me enough. And I'd get to pretend to leave. And she'd be like, no, come back, please. We need your branding expertise. And I'd be like, all right, here's what we need. You need to do Snickers chaos, where that's where you don't know what flavor of Snickers you're getting. And you have all these other different Snickers flavors, like mint chocolate chip. And you have like peanut butter Reese's Snickers. I would just like sort of pitch all these different like Snickers brands, and it was just a weird good place for our creativity. So then we were like, all right, well, what if we just do that for a podcast? We just try to rebrand anything. So there's an episode on death, there's an episode on, we just did farts, but then it's also, we rebrand like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you know, stuff like that.
I love it. I got a little clip here. It's not visual though. Well, I guess it's a little visual.
What about a reality show called Background Check,
visual.
CZECH? And you have to...
One more time.
Background Check, CZECH.
Okay, like the Czech Republic.
Like the Czech Republic.
Okay.
But it's a house full of people, and you have to try and figure out who's the actual Czech. Who is the person who's actually from the Czech Republic. It's called Background Check. And also, they all work as background actors in Los Angeles.
Wait, so it's like Werewolf, but you're just trying to find out who so these people...
Yeah.
So these people have to come in with a very vast knowledge of the Czech Republic.
Yes, and the final round is called Blank Check, and that's where none of the Czechs are allowed to speak. No one's allowed to speak anymore. It's called Blank Check.
So, were you rebranding reality programs?
It's interesting because we have done we did an episode on reality TV with Hannah Binder, I think her name is. She's a comedian.
Einbinder?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I apologize. Yes. Yeah, but that episode, I can't remember. That's the other thing, is the show is very like windy in a lot of ways. So I think that one, just Czechoslovakia came up, and the idea of being Czech came up.
Yeah.
So then I don't know, in my head I was like, background check. I don't know why. That kind of came up.
Do you find working with your wife is, I find this with my wife as well, and I wonder if you do, that you like, your minds are so in tune with one another. Sometimes you like have the same thoughts even, or you get like half of it out and the other person knows exactly what you're talking about. Do you have that experience?
Yeah, we have that. I feel like we have this other thing which is very similar, where we are just, the rhythm is really tight. Yeah. I feel like, you know what I mean? Where I can tell when she's done with a joke, or she'll do it, I'll do a joke and she'll have a really good tag, just because I think that's what happens when you live with someone and you love them. You get a little bit of a psychic link, you know? I believe that.
I think you do. I think you do too. And it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch y'all. Do you do video at all, or do you just do audio generally? I mean,
we're still working on the video thing. Because I had to, again, she was like, you have to do it all. So I took a year figuring out like basically how to get the volume right. Like I am not good with any sort of technical shit. You do it.
Audio is always a problem. And a lot of times the chat room will be like, Joel, we can't hear you, or the other person will be muted or whatever, or the music's too loud or whatever. Audio is the most difficult thing, I think.
Yeah, what I would love to do is get enough listeners so that we could, partner with like HeadGum or somebody that has a studio where you can go in and they'll just film the thing and edit it for you. That's my ideal situation, because I'm currently editing them, recording it, all that, and I just don't. I'm not,
the
we would
editing
probably do
is the
better if we
hardest
had
part.
more video, but
The
Yeah.
editing is the hardest part. I know when I did
Yeah.
when we did fat free film years ago, which technology was nowhere near what it is now. It would take me just like a week to put the thing together, and I'd go through the whole. And editing audio at the time was really difficult, but it's gotten easier with things like Descript and some of these different programs that will transcribe it for you, and you can edit with the text. Yeah, check it out.
Interesting.
You can ask Boney about that. He knows all about that stuff.
Yeah, he hit on me earlier.
He
This made
did.
me feel
That's not
uncomfortable.
surprising at all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even. It wasn't even sexual. I don't know. It's hard to describe.
I know, it's weird. Well, he is one big bone. He's all bone. So
Yeah, exactly.
lot
That's what he
of
said. I was like,
boners
"Hey,
going
man."
on.
I was like, first of all, it's 11:30 a.m. Like, I don't know where you get off pretending like we're gonna be flirting. You know what I mean? It was just weird.
he's horny too. He's really
Yeah,
horny.
he's really. Yeah, he's a horn. He's like, yeah, he's doing his click clack dance or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God, he did that.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I want to know more about Chicago and how you. Well, you quit drinking in Chicago, but Chicago
Yeah.
is like a drinking town. When I was there, it was all drinking going on.
Yes. Did you live there?
I lived there, yeah, quite a while ago. But I worked at Steppenwolf for a couple of years.
Ah, that's
And,
amazing.
Yeah, well, I just went there because I was in Seattle, and there at the time, I went around and auditioned for the theaters after I got out of drama school, and they were like, "You'll never work here. You look like you're 12 years old, and everybody that works here is from New York or LA." That's what they said.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
there was like a core of about 5 actors there that they used, but other than that, they were just like, "You got to go someplace else." So my friend was going
Yeah.
to Chicago.
That's
so I went
Chicago
there.
gets like that. Man. LA's a little bit like that too, like log jammed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I feel like the major comedy clubs are like it's the most famous comedians in the world live
What
here.
an
you know?
incredible town, though, it is for young actors and comedians and improv artists. There's so much going on there. Did you?
Dude, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like, and it was interesting because it was before really when I was doing stuff there. There was this period where nobody had come out of Chicago in a while. Like
Yeah.
a bunch of good comics came out, like a ton of really amazing comics actually, like
Yeah.
Kumail and Kyle Kinane and Pete Holmes and Hannibal Buress and more. Like there was this
Yeah.
really amazing like generation. Right when I got there, those guys kind of left. But
Mm-hmm.
even those guys weren't like, it's not like they got on SNL. They sort of like facilitated their own careers through like independent work, really, in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
And then help with Comedy Central and shit. But so when I was there, it was this really romantic time where it was very insular. Like nobody was worried about their agents. I was just like getting drunk, riding around on the trains, not having a car, and doing improv. And that was like my whole life and focus was just doing improv and a little bit of stand up. And then
Where were
so
you
it
doing
was-
improv at the time? What were the places you did it?
Improv Olympic and then the Annoyance Theater.
The Annoyance, that was so interesting. When I was there, it was a long time ago, but they were doing Real Live Brady Bunch and Charles Manson the musical, and it was just a crazy place. Lines around the theater. What was it like when you were there?
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's still, it's still in that vein. So I was gonna sketch group with some dudes. One of whom, so Chris Witowski, he's like done well. And John Barinholtz, he's like he writes for sitcoms now. And then this dude, this guy Connor O'Malley. Have you heard of him? Do you know?
No, I gotta Google him.
So Connor's pretty like internet famous now. He's sort of like he's married to Adie Bryant, who was on SNL, and she's really amazing. And I did shows with her and stuff. And then Connor moved to New York, and he got really famous doing these vines where he would really
Vines?
just like
Remember
accost
Vines?
rich people basically.
Yeah.
And
Really?
scream at them about how he worshiped them and stuff.
Is this
and
him?
then yeah, that's him. And then he wrote for Seth Meyers, and now he's like in a bunch of movies, and he works with Joe Pera a lot. He's like really funny, but his stuff on YouTube is like it's not like the Real Live Brady Bunch at all, but like
Yeah.
those dudes would do shows in Chicago where they would just like throw hamburgers at models of the Twin Towers until they fell down. Like shit that is
God.
psychotic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was the punk kind of performance arty theater.
When I was there, I think they were doing a lot of psychedelics.
Yeah. And
some of their shows were just so bizarre, just bizarre.
And it's a real drinky spot. Like you said,
yeah.
Chicago's like crazy
my
drinky.
God,
So
yeah.
some of those dudes didn't drink. It's not like everybody was an alcoholic, but there was that sort of wild vibe around it, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting you say they were doing psychedelics. It's interesting to think the different things that are affecting the comedy like that.
Yeah. Well, the culture too for actors and comedians in Chicago, at least when I was there, it was a great culture because everybody would go to the same bars after the shows. So you'd be there with people from the Goodman and from all, Steppenwolf and from Annoyance, and from everybody kind of knew each other, and that was really a beautiful, beautiful thing. And great for performers. And nobody, like you said, nobody was trying to get on a TV show or nobody was trying to get on a movie because there just were no parts for that.
Yeah, it was
there
like
were a couple of things that came to town, but it was just minimal. And if you got a part, you'd be like the guy who hails the cab or something. You know what I mean? It would just be a little part. You'd see these great actors in the movies doing, a little bit part.
Incredible. Yeah, totally, man. That's there. You could really feel the community there. And the whole thing was just like, how good are you at improv?
Yeah.
The entire thousands of people focused on like, how good can you get at long form improvisation? And it had, TJ and Dave were there. Those are like these miraculous 2-person show. And just like a lot of really, really talented, like super funny dudes who, worked as like whatever, elevator operators and shit. And it was, so it's very like blue collar, lots of like...
I say that same thing. I say that things about Chicago actors. They're blue collar.
Yeah, and very super like winter drinking. Like you have to eat pizzas that are this thick.
Yeah.
And then who's played man hailing the cab the most? Yeah, probably Dave Pasquesi, I think. Or you mean in general, like in the whole world?
The best at it. Who's the best at man hailing?
Who's the best at hailing cabs?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like Sam Rockwell could hail a
Sam
cab,
Rockwell, he's an amazing cab hailer. He's
Hey!
got such great cab. Oh, whoa, that was good. Was that for you? You should get that on your reel.
Yeah,
you can take it from the show and put that on there.
Yeah, it's on my skills.
What made you make the journey out here to Los Angeles?
So it's kind of a weird story. I was so there's this lady named Susan Messing. She's kind of a legendary Second City teacher and performer, a great, amazing sketch lady. And she's one of those people who like worked with all the people who went to SNL, but just stayed in Chicago because she loved it there. She loved teaching and she had a family and stuff. So Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul or whatever, and I was obsessed with Mr. Show growing up, or not even growing up, like in my teens and stuff. Yeah, that's Susan Messing. Yeah. So Odenkirk I had just done a show with her that she directed, and Odenkirk came to Chicago, and he and David Cross, who were like my idols, were like, who is good? We're going to do a sketch show. And she said my name. So then Bob, I was working at Urban Outfitters. I was walking down the street all depressed and sad, and I got a call on my voicemail that was like, you have a message from Bob Odenkirk. And that is like fucking Santa calling you. It was very strange.
Yeah.
I just started running down the street. I distinctly had this memory of being like, I had so much energy. I was like, rah, and just started sprinting. And they did a sketch show, and I was in it. We worked pretty hard on it. We did it for a few days. They just, it was at the Chicago Theater, which is cool. It was like a big crowd, and we, so we did that. And then I remember I think I was newly sober. And I went over to my friend Wayne's house, who's this friend of mine who I talk in the special about. I talk about Wayne.
Yeah, I love the Wayne stories.
Yeah, Wayne. He's a brilliant dude.
Yeah.
Saved my life, honestly, that guy.
Really?
I was so broken. Yeah, he would just buy me hamburgers and shit. We were just like staying sober together. And I went over to Wayne's house, and he was like a tech guy. So this is before everybody did this, he had his computers on the big monitor in his front room so he could game. And I was like, I literally cried after the show because I thought I tanked it. I thought I did a really bad job.
Oh.
And I could be really hard on myself. And I And I was like, Wayne, you have to, I have Bob Odenkirk's email. You have to help me email this guy. Like, I don't know how to do this, but there's no way I'm ever going to work in this industry if I don't
You're going to email him and do what? You're going to
just be like, thanks so much.
I'm sorry I fucked it up.
Yeah. Well, I don't think, hold on, I'm going to let my dog in. I don't
Okay.
think I actually did fuck it up.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. You just think you did. All right, your dog.
Yeah, this is Cody, my brilliant pit bull.
Cody.
He's the sweetest guy. He is a brilliant dog. So yeah, I just, well, you know, it's a St. Louis thing too. Let's get him in the mix.
Perfect.
That there's this where I'm from. We have this really deep sort of insecurity. There's a lot of challenges with feeling of value. So I think that was really at work at the time, you know. And so anyway, he helped me write it. He helped me write this email, and then Bob and I like stayed in touch, and we would email each other every once in a while. And then I talked to him on the phone, and he was like, "You should come to LA." And I was like, "Okay, I'm never gonna get a better opportunity, you know, bigger sign than that." So that's how I ended up here.
Wow, that's cool. And when you got here, when did you start working on Drunk History, and how did that work? Because it seems like you were like in the ensemble.
Yeah, I was, so a guy named Seth Whitberg, who had done improv in Chicago, knew me from, there I am, right behind Johnny Knoxville. This guy, Seth Whitberg, who was an improviser from Chicago, knew that I was here doing improv now. I think he saw me do a set at, anyway, whatever. Yeah, this guy Seth
distracting you by showing you pictures at the same time, too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like, that's the crazy thing is I worked with, is that Jeffrey Wright? Like I worked with all these fucking amazing, it's like, Patton Oswalt, total fucking dream.
So cool.
Total dream opportunity. And he called me and he was like, "Hey man, do you want to be in the ensemble?" He's like, "It's basically glorified background work." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that."
Yeah.
And it ended up being like steady work for a bunch of years. And like it, you know, again, here's the interesting thing about Hollywood. Usually like, this is not always the case. Sometimes you get lucky, but like, I'm not complaining, but the better the show, the worse the pay. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like they're doing you a favor. It's like they're doing you a favor or something.
Well, it's like everybody wants to do this thing because it's cool and funny. So they don't have to pay. You know what I mean? But if you're going to do this like piece of shit sitcom that you actually hate, but the whole world loves, like you'll get a ton of money. And every once in a while, there's a good sitcom that blows up. But anyway, so yeah, man, it was fucking great. It was like, wake up at 5 a.m., which is hard for me. Go in, they put a 70s mustache on you, and they're like, "Okay, now Chris Parnell's gonna scream at you, and he's playing fucking Thomas Edison."
That's hilarious. And so they would actually we had Ricky Hollywood on the show who was worked on that as well. But would they actually get hammered? Like they really did? Like
but so that's
how was the sobriety for you?
Well, that's the thing. Situation. So it's really, Drunk History is like 2 shows, basically. It's where they record the interviews where the storyteller gets hammered while Derek, the host, is there also getting hammered, which they for sure actually
The host was getting hammered too. Oh my God.
Yeah, like if you watch the show, he's always like drinking with them. So he's the creator and the host, right? Mm-hmm. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna, I don't know, something about," he's a very generous guy. So he was like, "I'm not gonna force other people to get drunk and not do it myself." So they literally had to have like EMTs on standby.
Oh my God.
And I was friends with people who, because he did a lot of the storytellers would also be like comics or improvisers or whatever, along with professors and shit like that.
Hilarious.
But yeah, super funny. So I would have friends who'd done the interview be like, "Hey, I got fucking hammered last night, blacked out. I have no idea what I said, and that's going on television."
God. It's
and
terrifying.
So. Yeah, super scary. But they had this really, they would do, there's like a method to the entire thing, having done it a lot. And Derek would just tell us about this shit where it's like, he shows up, they start drinking, they continually drink. I think they interview them 3 times. And the first one is where they'll get like the exposition and the narrative correct, right? And then the second time, and then is like mid drunk. And then the third time they're like on the floor throwing up into a trash can or whatever. And so that's where you'll get like the crazy, "I can't stop burping" or whatever. And then you have like, and then I'm playing a Nazi who's saying, "I can't stop burping." You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So you did sort of the reenactment.
Exactly. I was in the reenactments, which is very professional with like DPs and lights and
Wigs.
that's like the professional aspect of and the other one's professional too. It's just some people are getting hammered. But it is funny that I was on Drunk History sober the entire time, but also it makes sense because you don't actually drink on that job.
It totally makes sense.
Right.
And then what about this show Enlisted?
So Enlisted is an amazing fucking Fox sitcom that was so fun to work on that is like Stripes.
Yeah,
but
I love Stripes.
Modern.
Yeah.
And I auditioned a ton and I got some stuff I got to work, but I have a hard time auditioning, man. It feels like I'm going to the principal's office.
I know I feel the same way. I agree with you. Same problem.
I don't know, man. I
feel like maybe it's because we don't like that competition situation where all of a sudden they're like, okay, show us your stuff. And you're kind of like, well, I don't want to do that. And I'm
like, I feel this is so funny, dude, because this is all projection on my part, but I feel like, who the fuck are you to judge me?
Right. It's like you get angry. Like,
that's
stupid.
Their whole
That's their job.
And also, they do really just want you to succeed.
They're not judging you. They're judging. No. They're if there's anything they're judging, it's whether you'd be right for this part in this thing, so that they can keep their job.
It's not personal, but as a too, it's like a very vulnerable thing to put out your work of any kind. So I've had to do a lot of work to take things less personally, right?
Yes,
that's
me too. Me too.
It's like low self-esteem and shit. And is what's causing me to have all these experiences,
Yeah.
But so I went in for Enlisted, and I was just one line. Like I said one line, and they were like, "Okay, they like you," and I was like, "Okay, weird." And I was like, "An army comedy. This is going to be terrible." That's truly what I thought.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. And I showed up, and I read the first script, and I was like, "Oh, this is really funny." And it was like, Ron Funches was in the pilot episode, and Michelle Buteau, who's subsequently like blown up super crazy, Moranzio Vance, like we were, we're like the goofball, like goof troop background, fall down lunatics.
Yeah.
Who really like the comedic. Anyway, so every episode I was like, this is so funny actually. And then all the like Mike Royce and Kevin Beagle co-created it, and they were like super really cool. It was like a really amazing TV experience, and it only got 12 episodes. It got kind of fucked around with the scheduling from Fox. Yeah. And that's right, man. Nothing is personal. That's correct.
Nothing is personal. Yeah.
And it's a lifetime's work to learn that. But anyway, so it got like an A rating from the Onion AV Club. Like it was critically. Really? People loved it because it was really good, but nobody really saw it. Yeah.
Do you think the military had anything to do with that? Because there was a really good NFL show a while back, but it had all kinds of drugs and things. It was like kind of the reality of it.
Well,
and
dude,
that was NFL got pissed and it was gone. Yeah,
because so the creator Kevin, he has family in the military, and so he was doing this. He was really trying to strike this delicate balance of like have it be funny and have it, like we're talking about, have it have heart and characters who feel real and are addressing actual challenges that people have in the real army. So he was really specific about his writing process and tried to be like hilarious and respectful. But then what happened was a trailer got released, I think this is the case, by Fox that they didn't like work on, and it made it look like real fucking fall down goofy, like make fun of the military. So, which I'm fine with actually, but the military was pissed.
Really?
Which is a hilarious sentence to have the United States military angry at your sitcom. So they had to do a bunch of like kind of damage control, but it was weird because they were already thinking in that way. Like we had consultants from the Army on the television show, and they hired a dude who ended up co-writing some scripts because he was a really nice dude who was a veteran, and he also wanted to work in the industry and all this stuff. So there was totally some of that. And if you watch the episodes, it's like I think they did a really, really good job of being super funny and also not just
respectful.
Being like, aren't people in the Army fucking assholes, which was never their intention.
Yeah, but Army people would probably like it.
They did.
Yeah, I guess they were worried about the people who are going to enlist. That's what they're worried about, the high school kids. Oh, that sucks. Can we watch it? Yeah.
I think you can. I think you'd have to like buy it on Hulu.
I tried to find it. It said it was on Netflix, and then it wasn't. But I'm sure it's like, things come in and out. So just look for it,
And also, like, there's so much shit happening all the time that it's like you can't expect people to like, no, you have to watch a full episode to understand what this is about.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're all just seeing stuff that you're gonna automatically prejudge. But the thing that people like don't understand about Hollywood is that everyone's a pedophile. No, that's what everyone thinks, right?
Yeah, that's what everyone thinks.
That's what everyone
For some
thinks.
reason.
But sure, I would actually argue there are probably no more pedophiles in Hollywood than anywhere else.
Yeah.
But they just have a lot of money. But so, getting away from that, actually the amount of work, the amount of true craftspeople that live in Hollywood and work their asses off is extremely high. Like on that show, we're working in this giant what do they call, like, hangar that studios have, and people would come in and build an entire house inside of this studio and then take it down, and the next day roll a tank in. It's just the amount of psycho work that all goes into all that stuff, all to make it look like no work has actually been done.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look.
Zach has a
why
question.
is Mort so damn hot? It's a good question.
That's an interesting. That's interesting, Zach.
Speaking of that, I'm going to play a clip.
Just charisma, like hard to pinpoint charisma, I think.
It is. I think it's the brain. The brain.
Yeah.
is so
Beautiful.
massive.
Thank you, Joel. That's Zach. He's my sketch partner.
Yeah, and here's a sketch.
Zach, thanks for auditioning over Zoom. I know it's not ideal, but we appreciate you coming in, and whenever you're ready.
What a beautiful day to steal some diamonds.
Stop. I really felt like you wanted to steal those diamonds. Are you actually planning on stealing some diamonds?
No, I'm not going to steal diamonds, but I so appreciate that. I spent a lot of time on this. Thank you. Do you want me to read the rest of the
I
script?
can already tell you're our generation's Brando. What's the point? I haven't had an erection in 34 months, and I can tell that I'm starting to get one, and all of a sudden I believe that perhaps God is real.
You don't know how good that makes me feel to hear you say that. Thank you so much.
It just makes me feel angry that somebody like you isn't world famous and Bill Maher's parading around acting like what he does is fucking entertainment.
I kind of like Bill Maher, but I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
Bill Maher's a sack of shit tied with a piss rope compared to you.
God.
A piss rope.
Bill Maher should be begging you to abduct and torture him just so he can be near your talent.
That is super violent imagery, but I really appreciate the sentiment. Does this mean that I got the part?
No, and I can't be clear enough about this. No, you will not be getting the role. The role is going to go to someone else, not you. You will not be in this film forever.
I hear that.
Does that make sense?
I hear you loud.
Oh my God. I love those. Those are so funny.
My position on Bill
Mort's-
Maher has aged well.
Yeah, it has aged well.
Yeah, that was, we did that during, God, thank you, Joel. Man, this is so, I'm like, damn, my shit is really funny.
It is. You're fucking hilarious. You're hilarious.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, that we did that during COVID. That was Zach and I. We did so many, and we're starting to shoot them again, which I'm really excited about because we've been busy.
Cool.
We haven't been able to get back into the 2-person sketch thing. So we're gonna do it again, but without the restriction of having to do it all over Zoom.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go back on our Instagrams, you can find tons
There's
of
good stuff. We showed someone when Zach was on. There was one where he was like dancing. It was really funny, and you were trying to.
Oh
dance.
yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it was fun, man. It was like
Such good stuff.
dude, and that's the cool thing about sketch is it's like it's limitless, you know. Have you seen? There's a really great sketch group right now called Almost Friday.
No, I gotta check it out. I'll write it down.
Yeah, they're really
Almost
good.
Friday.
I think that's what they're called. They're carrying the and of course I love Tim Robinson and stuff. There's a couple people sort of
Tim Robinson's hilarious.
there's like people
My
who are
wife
sort of
Kamala was on his show.
Oh really?
The shirt brothers episode where these two guys had the same shirts, and then the guy just goes in the other room and destroys the place. It was just really weird, and it's so weird, but it's like it's totally along the lines of Mr. Show or Tim and Eric and all that stuff that is really just it's some of the most hilarious stuff and I think this is maybe why Drunk History is so funny is because when things are funny in that kind of clownish way where like something has kind of gone wrong or something feels like so wrong, but not in a mean-spirited way. That's the thing with me, at least. I can really laugh hard when something is sort of so unexpected and so out of left field but as long as it's not mean spirited, that's my rule. I mean, I think it's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a bunch of thoughts about that. There was this friend of ours who was like, it's funny. You played Tim Robinson's wife. It's weird. I've seen every sketch and I can't remember the Shirt Brothers one for some reason. He does a bunch of different shirt related sketches.
Oh yeah.
I've never met Tim.
Yeah.
I love that. I love his shit though. But this friend was like, it's funny to see people out of control. That's why, people that when somebody falls down, it's funny. If somebody farts, it's funny. And I think it's because we spend so much time trying to appear in control that it's so cathartic.
Yeah.
So then the brilliance of drunk history is that it's like, it shouldn't work.
Yeah.
I want it to be almost Fridays. I want it to be almost like a show that is, that's good, man. Yeah, that's strong.
Let's do it.
Almost fully written sketches.
Yeah.
And then so drunk history is like, it's totally built on that, of people trying to match people who are behaving in a way that is beyond they can't control.
Yeah.
And then the meanness thing.
Yeah, tell me.
So I can be really vicious. Like I grew up like really enjoying some pretty mean comedy. So I think it's something that if used sparingly is good. I think with the whole roast thing, I think roasting was much more interesting when it was this little tiny corner of comedy where just every once in a while you would weirdly see like Richard Pryor roasting Dean Martin or whatever. And then all of a sudden it became like this giant thing that was like, people think that's all comedy is. And I think that's when the meanness becomes like, kind of intolerable, because it's like it's only pepper. You're like, there's nothing else.
Yes, it's sort of like the crowd work these days, where people, a lot of comedians are like, I'm so sick of crowd work. Why is everybody doing crowd work? It's because it's supposed to be just part of a whole thing, not the whole show.
Exactly. And the way that social media works is it's by its very nature, it makes things disposable, right? So it makes comedy disposable, and that's fine, but that's not why I got into it, right? I got into it because to me it's like an album. It's like something really, really special. I think art is such a special, beautiful, profound human creative experience, and what we're doing now with social media is we're trying to get rid of all the mystery. That's why Kendrick Lamar is so fucking brilliant, because he doesn't tweet, he doesn't go on Instagram, he drops one song on Twitter or YouTube, and everybody's like, holy shit, and they treat it like art because he is treating it like art. He's doing the work to make it profound and artful, you know? Whereas like Instagram is just like, show me the next, show me the next, show me the next, show me the next, show me the next. So of course the stuff that gets big on Instagram is going to be a little bit less
artistic.
Have a little less depth. And that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, it's fucking crowd work's cool. You can do it brilliantly, you know, but if it's all you're doing, it's kind of corny.
Yeah. All right. Well, we reached the end of the show. Can you believe it?
Nice. I did it. I fixed comedy.
I like how you fixed it. Summed it all up for us right at the end there.
Hell yeah.
I love it. At the end of the show, we have a dance break where we just kind of dance to a great song. I had a great one today. Main Squeeze. It's beautiful, uplifting. Thanks everybody for being here. Camila Lopez has one more thing. She says, it's the older weird guy in the same shirt as Tim, their kids at the school concert. Oh yeah, that's the Shirt Brothers episode. You gotta see it.
Is that season 2 or 1?
Oh no, I don't know. I just saw the movie though, Friendship. Did you see that movie?
Oh yeah, my buddy Andy DeYoung wrote and directed that.
Hilarious. Weird though,
and
dark,
you know,
dark as could be.
Okay, so Connor O'Malley, the guy I was talking about, he's the dude who has the joke where he goes, "We never should have left Afghanistan. It's such a shame that we left Afghanistan." You don't remember that joke? It's like one of the funniest jokes. He's in that shit.
Oh, it's in the Friendship thing. Oh yeah, of
he's
course.
in that movie.
He's the guy in the garage. In the garage.
Yeah, he's got the drums. That's Connor. Yeah,
that's so good. I remember that. I was searching my mind because I was outside of that movie, and then I was like, "Oh, in that movie," he said that. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, in Friendship. Yeah. Thanks. It's weird as hell.
It's so weird, but different. Yes, I remember that joke, and I totally agree with him. Because I remember I said to my wife, "We shouldn't have gotten out of Afghanistan." She's like, "Yeah, we shouldn't have, because we just left them to be slaughtered.
Oh no, that's not what he's saying though. All right, now we're getting accidentally political.
You said he screwed over the women. I know. Now we're getting political right at the end of the thing.
Yeah, we can't help it.
Now they're locked in their homes. Okay. Well, on that note, were you going to say something about that, or that's like a whole
Me
other...
concerning that?
We're going to go
That is
Patreon only for this conversation. No.
Yeah, that's a hotbed of bees nests.
My God, it's all a hotbed.
That discussion, yeah,
Oh my God.
about whether or not it's America's job to look.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, there's
a lot to be said
always,
about
look,
that.
I basically believe we can't be dealing with the Middle East without acknowledging our own Islamophobia. That's what I believe.
That's interesting. I like that. Let's dance it out.
Yeah.
We'll dance that feeling out.
Yeah.
And we'll have that on our other podcast. It's all politics. Should be really good.
Nice. Good. I'm an expert.
Rebrand politics.
Whew, that's a good one.
You done that one yet?
What would you do if I sang out of tune?
This is a beautiful thing.
Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a
Thanks everybody for being here
song,
today.
and I'll try not to sing
Really
out
wonderful.
of key. Oh, I can cry a little help from my friends. Oh, I can have a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try a little help from my friends.
This is Main Squeeze. Check them out on their YouTube channel. Thanks so much for being on the show, Mort.
Thanks for having me, man. That was a lot of fun. I really
Last-
appreciate that, Joel. Thank you for being such a thoughtful, considerate interview. I appreciate it.
Thanks. I appreciate it. On that note, we'll see y'all next week.